Hey folks, Lana here with Cowboy Boots, Hats, and Western Life Enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have 5 boots in front of me, and I'm going to talk about which one was the best boot to use in a snowy winter condition. So let's go ahead and get into it right after this. All right, we are back. Now, I have the boots here. Now, it is from worst to best, and I'm just going to go one by one. Now, how I did this is that I went up to Connecticut for Christmas, and of course, I'm from South Florida. There's not a lot of snow. There's no snow here in South Florida, so we're really uh, almost sunshine every day, except some rain every once in a while and things like that. But we never get winter or snow. Heck, we're lucky if it ever gets down to the 50s. On the worst winter day, that's when you see everybody all bundled up looking ridiculous. But of course, there's no need for that. It's tropical paradise down here pretty much, except when we get those tropical storms. But besides that, everything is not snowy. So I don't get to experience snow a lot. So I went up to Connecticut to see Jacqueline's family this winter, and I brought these 5 pairs of boot. And when got to thinking about it, I thought, I need boots for this, I need boots for that, comfort, dress up for, like uh, family functions, and um, some of it is, for the functions that they actually needed to perform, knowing that I was going to be going into a winter condition and also really long driving days, being that we drove there. So that was like a 23-hour drive up straight and 27-hour drive back. So I need to get my most comfortable boots for that. So that was kind of the idea behind my thought. And then when I got there and I, was experimenting with every kind of boots in the actual snow, I thought, hey, I could make a video about this, and that was a great opportunity to make this video. Now, uh, as far as the boot, these come from different companies, and I'm not really rating the companies or the boots themselves as least to best. This is simply the characteristics of the boots that are better or worse for the snow. So nothing to do with these brands. Like I said, I'm down here in South Florida, and these boots are all really great boots, and I've come to love and appreciate them. But I'm just talking about characteristics of boots that are better for snowy conditions. All right, so let's start with the first boot. All right, so my first boot is Ruho. This one is a caiman belly with a 7-toe. I have done a review, and I actually will leave a link in the description below to every single boots that I have in this video. I'll leave a link to the review video. But this is the worst one for the condition. Of course, Ruho makes an amazing boot, and I have nothing but great things to say about it. I needed a dress boot to go to a family function. It was New Year's Eve. And of course, we got dressed up. And this is a really nice dress boot. It's a little darker, it's chocolate and everything. Now, one of the thing is cayman. Uh, they are not the best for keeping warm. So this you do feel the cool kind of going through the scales and everything. It's not horrible, nothing that I couldn't live with. Of course, you're going to feel the cold regardless, but it's not too bad. It's still a pair of boots. It's definitely better than anything you'd wear, like a sneaker or anything like that. But it's good for summer days, and it does kind of keep you a little bit cooler, but generally anything alligator, reptile, anything like that is not going to be the best to uh, keep you warm. But again, that's not what I was looking for. I didn't really care much about that. I just want to look good, presentable. Now, a reason why this was not the best boot for uh, winter, in snowy conditions is the leather sole. Now, I found my traction, of course. It wasn't like I was slipping everywhere and everything like that. You do have to kind of, realize that you do have a leather sole and that it will not create the best traction, and it didn't. But I was okay. I made sure that I watched my step and knew where I was getting into. But it held up just fine. I didn't slip one time, and everything was absolutely perfect. But I was also aware of my surroundings, made sure that I didn't do anything to trip. But this is the reason why this one is the least favorite, because of the leather sole that doesn't provide traction, and also this does not keep you warm. So therefore, it's my least favorite. Again, Ruho is a great boot, so nothing against Ruho. Construction is great, the looks is great. It's just not ideal for this situation, and no other boot that has this kind of material is going to be the ideal one for this situation. Let's get on next. All right, so here's my next boot. This is the Fegnolio Cookies and Cream Elephant boot. Really beautiful boot. I love it very much. The reason why it ranked a little bit higher than the Ruho is the fact that it has elephant skin, and elephant skin will help warmer. Now, of course, also elephant skin is probably one of the toughest skin, so it could take on salt and grimes and stuff like that. Probably a little bit better than what cayman can. Another thing about this boot is the sole. So this is a full leather sole. Now, what I did with this boot is I went ahead and took a train and went over to New York. Now, there wasn't any snow. Pretty much all the snow had melted away. Very limited amount of snow. I think I just stepped into it when I was outside of the house. Now, leather sole, not going to have any traction, same as the Ruho. So that's not really going to make any difference. And anyway, you're going to be getting salt grime on a leather sole, and that's just kind of going to tear away into it. So it's really not the best, not the ideal boot. Again, just a little bit better than the Ruho, because it could probably take on the salt grime a little bit better with that elephant skin. And also, it looks really awesome in a contrast with the snow. That white and black, kind of mixing into the snow. It looks really, really nice. And that's why it kind of went ahead and got a little bit of a better mark than the Ruho did. But again, not the ideal boots if you're going to be walking in the snow. If you are, probably a better idea to put a you know, rubber sole on there, or get a rubber sole boot. Let's go on the next. All right. Well, this is the horsepower. This is from the Top Hand collection. So this is the full quill ostrich horsepower. Now, this one is the next one on the list because, well, it's made out of ostrich skin. And if y'all have been watching my channel, ostrich is my favorite skin. It is absolutely the best. It is uh, very breathable. It's got a natural elastane to it that really conforms to your skin, as that's what ostrich skin is. And also, it breathes very nice and keeps you cool. Now, a boot that keeps you cool and is very flowy in a matter of how the ventilation and everything will not keep you warm. So this boot definitely was probably one of the worst for keeping you warm, and that's fine. Again, I don't really need my foot to be too toasty. they do still better than a sneaker. The reason why it was marked up a little bit higher than the other two boots is just the simple fact that this is a hybrid sole, which means it's all leather sole and then it has a rubber inlay right here. So I did feel a little bit more traction whenever I was walking on snow and things like that. It really did perform good on that. A lot better than the leather sole boots. Not the best, but still better. That little inlay of rubber really did help. And I just had the feeling of being a little less cautious. And that's a really great thing. Also, these are one of my favorite. They're really comfortable. And that's why I brought them. I knew that I would be wearing them during the trip up there and I'll feel just fine. So this is why this is the next one up and the third one on our list. Now, let's go ahead and on the next one. Next one we have here is the camel suede from Horsepower. So very much the same characteristic, built under the same last. So uh, felt really good. The only reason why this one was a touch higher than the full quill ostrich is I think that this suede kind of helped in keeping you a little bit warmer than the full quill ostrich. I really like it a lot. Now, of course, that being a horsepower from the same line has the same thing where it's got this hybrid sole that has the rubber inlay within the leather sole. And I really do like that. Again, it helped a lot more with traction. I didn't have to be as worried about, um, slipping or anything like that. Of course, it's not the best, but this was very good, and it just kept your foot a little bit warmer than the full quill ostrich. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, so we are now at the number one on our list, and this is the Corral shark skin. Um, this is probably the best one out of all of these. Actually, I know for a fact that it is the best one out of all of this. Now, it's not that, again, Corral is just the best boot and everything. Again, I'm looking at characteristics of the boots. Any of these companies could have built the same kind of boot, some better, some worse. But you know what? It would have been up to the characteristics. And this is what this video is all about. It's not about naming one brand better than the other. It's the purpose and the characteristics for that purpose. Now, while I like this boot, it is very comfortable. Also, not as comfortable as the horsepowers, but still very comfortable to me. Um, and I could walk around in this pretty much all day, have no issues. Now, shark skin. Shark skin is going to keep you nice and warm. It's not ideal. It's not like um, you would say the elephant skin, but it will protect you from getting your feet that crazy cold a little bit better. Another thing is shark skin is very strong. It's of course an animal that lives in the salt water all the time, so it could get some salts on there, and it's not going to have a problem. You wipe it down later. I think I got a little bit of salt grime right here, and again, it's perfectly fine. You could wipe them down afterwards, and it will hold up perfectly fine. It's a very strong hide, and that's one thing that I really do love about it. Now, another reason why it was the best for snow, and I used it on the heaviest snow days, which wasn't that intense. There wasn't, huge amount of snow over there where, it was up to your ankles or anything like that. It was all minimal. But on the days that it snowed the most, I just went out with these and I was perfectly fine. The reason being is that, well, it's a rubber sole, full rubber sole. Uh, what I love about it is that they still have the welt, single stitch welt that is leather, but it is a full rubber sole. They really did a good job at making it look like it was all rubber. And again, a very strong boot that really could hold up to salt grimes and keeping your feet warm. And also, this is the one that I felt the safest with walking in the snow, where I didn't feel like I was going to slip if I wasn't careful or had to be more careful, like, than the horsepower. So this is why this boot is the winner. Now, of course, for the amount of snow that we had, I thought that this boot was very appropriate. Uh, if I was actually going to go with or into a place that was heavier snow, I would have picked out probably a different boot, something with maybe a bit more grip. This is uh, not the most amount of grip. You got a couple threads there, but something with a little bit more thread, maybe some spikes, But again, it wasn't that much snow, and I felt just fine with this. People were walking around in sneakers, so if people could do it in sneakers, well, I could sure as heck do it with this Corral boot, and this Corral boot did it the best. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, found it educational, well, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel and check out the other videos I have going on. But for now, see you on the next one.